Morning, guys. Welcome to Clickbait Coffee. We're going to let YouTube catch up or StreamYard or whoever because it's like a 15-second delay. As you usually know, ground fog was in here at 4:26 p.m. giving a wave. Good morning, ground fog. Forrest from Alabama's here. It's cold today. Yes, it is cold outside. Let's see. The thermometer on my thermostat reads outside temperature, and it said it was 27 at like 6 this morning. It's 30 right now. So, morning, Shelly. Shoot, I got the coughs this morning. Well, we had the snow Armageddon that was supposed to happen. I know Louisville got like 3 or 4 inches. I saw it this morning on Facebook. They were calling for like 2 inches here and a little bit of ice and stuff like that. Warren County schools are out. The county schools are out, but Lincoln, his school, they're in this morning. Good morning, John. They're in this morning. I tell you what, when we got him up, he was mad. He was like, "Do we have school?" And we're like, "Yes, you got school." He's like, "This is crap. This sucks. We ought to be out of school." I'm like, dude, there's not even any snow on the ground. It pretty much just rained. So there's a little bit of ice. I hadn't been out on the roads yet. My wife just got back from taking him to school. But, I mean, there's just a smidge of ice here and there. Most of it's kind of just rain. It came a good rain last night. So everybody in Kentucky, what did y'all get? Morning, Cut Bee Farmer. We didn't hardly get anything. There's a smidge of ice and probably nothing on the ground that I've seen. Lynn Dudley, good morning. And she's working in Tompkinsville today. Lunch is on me if you want some barbecue. I would drive to Tompkinsville for some good barbecue. I love like the Monroe County barbecue. There is Smoky Pig here in Bowling Green. It's they call it Monroe County style barbecue. He does sliced shoulder that is freaking amazing. And he'll either sprinkle it or dip it in whatever kind of sauce he's got. And it's just, I mean, I will go in there and get like just half a pound of sliced shoulder, and it's amazing. I would drive up there, but I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to do today that is super, super tempting. Let me see. Saturday and Sunday probably got 8 to 10 inches of snow. Yesterday, 5 to 6. Man, Cuckbee, you can keep that stuff up there. Well, the bad thing in like Michigan, it just stays forever. Here, we'll get snow, and it's probably like 2 or 3 days, and it's gone. Sometimes we get snow at night, and then by noon the next day, noon that day, it's just gone. Greg Skeens, good morning. And let's see, Greg said they got about 4 inches. So, Greg, I hope Mary Beth is doing good. I asked you yesterday. If you don't want to tell us on here, shoot me a text. Let me know how she's doing. I told Shelly and everything. Shelly was glad that everything went good. Hatfield Homestead, good morning. And snowy Cincinnati. And yes, like Shelly said, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It helps the algorithm tell everybody, it helps YouTube not send it out for everybody. And John says, rainy and chilly in middle Georgia. All right. Hatfield said, we got about 4 to 6 inches here in Cincinnati. Depends on where you're at. All right. We got absolutely nothing. And that's what the weather places do. They do, they do all this. And like, we were sitting at basketball practice last night, and Whitney pulled up a thing, and it's like, they're saying 4 inches. And I'm like, Kroger sponsored that weather report. I was like, I think Kroger is in on this and the grocery stores, because here, when they say snow, everybody grabs milk, eggs, and bread. And it's like, what? Is everybody going to be cooking French toast while we're watching the snow? Who knows? But I was kidding her. I was like, yeah, Kroger sponsored that weather report for sure. Hey, it's the Homestead Twins. What's up, guys? Recovering from carpal tunnel syndrome. Man, I tell you what, guys, I was talking about mine. My wrist had been hurting and everything else. And Dana from Russell Homestead, I talked to her and she was like, hey, I had the same thing happen with me on the carpal tunnel deal. She said, I cut out all my sugar, all my carbs, or all my gluten. And she said, I felt like crap for a while. She said, but after a few months, everything started getting better. And I tell you what, I've cut out pretty much all my carbs and 100% of the sugar. And I tell you what, my wrists, they still hurt every now and then if it's in certain positions. But I tell you, it's already 50% better by far. So that's one thing. I want to keep doing that. And literally all I ate yesterday, guys, Homestead Twins, I hope you do get better. I know it takes a hot minute to get that done because I know people that have had that, and it takes a little bit to get over it. But like yesterday, I had tea, unsweet tea. I still love tea, so I got to drink some of it. I had the little country market down the road. I go in there and a guy like hooks you up. I got 3 hamburger patties with cheese and grilled onions for lunch, and that was like, holy crap, this is great. And then last night we ate steak. I had we had ribeyes, so that I'm absolutely full. I probably won't eat breakfast after this. I'll probably just eat some lunch and then eat dinner tonight. But it's crazy how you can go and eat. If you're eating just meat and just proteins and stuff, you stay full and everything, and it's not like you get that mid-morning, oh man, I need a honey bun or a donut or something like that. Let's see. Forrest is in New Orleans at Mom's house, about to head back to the farm. I'll be listening to you in the car. 45 here, but headed to the 30s. Yeah, it's not going to be super warm today. I went and finished yesterday. I had a bunch of orders to send out that I'd packed up that'd come in over the weekend. I've got to pack some stuff up when I get done with this, drop those off. And yesterday I finished this bank job, and the guys at this bank and this thing, they're like, we got to have it done. We got to have it done. I'm like, guys, it's like freezing outside. We're going to paint this, but I don't know how good it's going to do. So they're like, paint it. If something happens to it, come back when it's warm and repaint it again. I'm like, that's fine. So I got that little thing finished up. But yeah, I've got some orders to pack up and get out and drop those jokers off at the post office. And then I've got to go do a little bit of work at my brother's house. So luckily I'm going to be inside. I don't have any outside stuff to do today other than taking care of animals, doing all that fun stuff. And then, let me see. We will get to that at 3-Ad Scout. We'll get that joker in a minute and look at it. This weekend, Friday. Yeah, Friday after the morning show, we put on our cowboy hats and our Yellowstone sweatshirts and jackets and got in our big black dually and moved cows around all day. But in reality, my brother came over. We loaded Ginger and Calvin, her calf, and took her and her calf up to Shelly's house. Cows loaded great. I brought them over in the neighbor's field where we got hard fence to push them up against real good. And we made a little chute with some gates. Back to trailer in. I put a rope around Ginger's neck, walked her in, gave her some feed. We swooshed Calvin in, slammed the door, and was like, we're off. And the funniest thing about it, we got up to Shelly's house and backed in to where we're going to unload them in her pasture. Shelly's house sets up on a ridge, and it goes down and slopes down to a creek. So there's not a lot of super, super flat stuff. Let's see. Shelly says, Calvin was in the sheep shelter this morning with the sheep. Ginger was standing outside of it looking at them. That's hilarious. But yeah, so we get out there. My place is relatively flat, and Shelly's rolls off down to the creek. So we back the trailer in. I open the door, and I'm like, come on, Ginger. So she steps out, and she's starting to walk, and she's on the side of the ridge, and she looks at me like, what in the hell is this? She's like, I'm not used to heels. So I'm just giggling to myself. So she finally gets used to it. And I'm like, she's going to have to get used to these hills and everything. So she's a flatland cow. And then I told Shelly, I'm like, Shelly, I was like, you have to get vanilla wafers. Ginger loves vanilla wafers because my wife would go down there and feed the animals just treats, and they love vanilla wafers. So I'm like, go get some vanilla wafers for her. So I think it was Sunday, Shelly sent me a picture of a box of vanilla wafers, and she goes, Ginger is my newest best friend. And I was like, I told you, feed her some vanilla wafers and you're set and ready to go. So let me see. John says, saw a story on 60 Minutes about how China is hacking into utilities and emergency systems and just sitting there waiting for when they want to act. John, I don't dismiss that whatsoever. I guarantee they probably are. I mean, hell, that's where most of our electrical transformers and stuff are coming in from, and all our solar panels and all this solar stuff. I mean, I guarantee there's back doors into it to where they can just turn everything off when they want to. Guarantee that stuff's going on. Let's see. Shelly said she's turning into a legit Highland cow. Yeah, she'll be running the ridges and everything else. So, yeah, so we got Calvin and Ginger moved up there, and then Shelly came down Sunday. Everything had come in for all our bleeding control kits and all our stuff for church. And Shelly's like, do you want me to come down Sunday and we can vacuum seal all those, get them in the boxes, get the stickers on, all that stuff? And I'm like, yes, that would be amazing to help. So we did it, knocked it out. I mean, heck, it probably took 2 hours maybe to put everything together and do. And I've got one sitting here. I am super excited. Check that joker out. Can y'all see that? That is the bleeding control kit that we're doing for church. All of there are 15 Sunday school rooms for the kids at our church. So we decided to put one in each room. Essentially, what this joker has, and I will show you, that might fall out. It's got a vacuum packed bleeding control kit that has everything to stop any kind of life-threatening bleeds. It's got a cat tourniquet in there, a Slishman wrap. It's got a set of chest seals. It has trauma shears, 2 things of compressed gauze, a 4-inch trauma bandage, a Sharpie marker, and a set of gloves in there. So that's the bleeding control kit. Anything to stop life-threatening bleeding. And then some extra stuff that the lady that runs our children's ministry, she was like, can we put these in there? We got a CPR shield, and then we did a modified ouch pouch in there. The modified ouch pouch, if you know how kids are, they want, if kids get any kind of little boo-boo or scratch, anything like that, they're like, it needs a Band-Aid. It needs a Band-Aid. So Nicole told me, she was like, can you do like a Band-Aid package in there with some Neosporin? And I'm like, yeah. So we did a Band-Aid package in there, put some Neosporin in there, and then we put a couple bigger Band-Aids. So that's going to handle everything in there, everything from the life-threatening bleeds to the kid scraped his finger and we got to have a Band-Aid on it. So we got all those together. I'm going to stick those jokers on the website. If anybody's interested in those will be up maybe today or tomorrow. I can get them on there. It just depends on how things go today. But if anybody's interested in those, let me know and we'll stick them up on the site. And then also you can see at the bottom of the screen, the soft tourniquets. We're running those at 20% off. Use the code SOFT20 and that'll get you 20% off the soft tourniquets. Let's see, tactical muffin tops here. What's happening? China produces PLC controls and every single thing from water to fuel to natural gas and propane, HVAC, electric controls, wastewater is controlled by them. Yeah, 100%. And I guarantee that they've got back doors into those things. They've already hacked multiple hacks into them. The back doors have never been found and are being used by China currently. Yeah, and that is a major problem when our government sold us out as far as manufacturing and producing stuff. We're reliant on all these other countries to produce all this stuff. That's why we need to bring the manufacturing back to the United States, or at least some trusted countries. I mean, China is not our friend whatsoever. I mean, but we're set. I mean, if you look at it, if China cut off importing stuff from us, just think how fast the shelves would go bare, and then think about the stuff that you couldn't get. I mean, we try to buy as much American-made stuff as we can, but I mean, China is just, they went the route of the United States was pushed to do the route of the tech stuff, and then China was like, hey, we'll be the producers. And if it really comes down to it, China's got us by the short hairs on manufacturing and stuff like that. We just need to move that stuff over here. And it does. It's not going to be like turning on the tap and, getting water. It's going to be an investment in that stuff. And, I mean, Trump's trying to do that, but he's getting stranglehold at every way he goes on whatever he wants to do. So, all right. Enough rambling, guys. Well, if y'all need anything, run to the website. Everything's in stock, ready to go. Any of your first aid medical stuff. The soft tourniquets are 20% off. And then we do have festival tickets for sale. And we have not got everybody that's going to be at the festival. There's going to be different people at the festival this time. But we went ahead and we ran a Black Friday sale. We were running buy one, get one free. But that expired last night. But tickets are for sale at the festival. And I tell you what, there were a bunch of people that took advantage of the buy one, get one free tickets. So those are up for sale too. And if you got any questions, give me a shout. We got radios in stock. Radios ready to program and ship out for you. All right. Big topic. I was thinking about this. I've thought about this before. What if the emergency services stop responding? What do you think is going to happen? I think it's going to go to chaos pretty quick. So, and when we're talking about it, emergency services stop responding. No police, no fire department, no EMS, no 911. Nobody's coming. And it's like a bunch of people said, you're your own first responder. You are guaranteed to be at 100% of your accidents. Guaranteed. That's a statistical fact. So, all right, let's kind of start with this. Emergency services are already at a failing point on stuff. There's places in the country already that you've got hold times for when you call 911. You can be put on hold when you're calling 911 just because they don't have dispatchers or the dispatchers are busy. Police response just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. I mean, it could be, 45 minutes plus before they come for a burglary incident. Ambulances are not running because you've got short staff of EMS people. I know EMS is short staffed all over the place. There's places that ambulances, they don't have the parts to fix some of these ambulances, so they're down an ambulance or two. So they're doing shortages on that. Plus they can't get parts for the ambulances to run. So think about this. I mean, your EMS time is getting longer and longer, for the ambulance to come. Rural fire departments. I mean, I know our rural fire department is pretty good, the volunteer fire department, but they're always needing more people. And, they're good here. I know some of the rural fire departments are not near as good as what we've got here. But remember, those are volunteer firemen. Some cities, I've heard about cities closing the firehouses, the paid firehouses at night just because they don't have people, employees working there. Police departments are losing officers, which you can't blame them. I mean, anytime an officer does something and somewhat not by the book or something like that, everybody's like, they're sue happy, all that kind of stuff. So all this stuff is happening right now. Some people just don't see it, and it's kind of the slow burn. So the system is breaking down gradually. So one day essentially one day it's going to be, there's no more. You're going to pick up the phone and call 911 and nobody's going to be there. So it's kind of like, what are we going to do? That's where the whole preparedness and the whole community and having stuff and knowing what to do comes into play. So I kind of did a little timeline thing, like a realistic 24-hour timeline of what would happen. So your 0 to 2 hour, kind of right in there. We're going to call it kind of the confusion time. People call 911. There's no answer. Or they get, due to high call volumes, you're going to be put on hold. People think it's kind of a glitch. You know, maybe there's something that's happening. You know, everything will be okay in just a little bit. So they're like, maybe something's going on, or hey, what's the deal with this? You know, maybe the landlines are down. Maybe their 911 system is down a little bit. The 2 to 6 hour, people start setting in on panic. Cars are still sitting on the side of the road from an accident. People are still standing out there with their, you know, at the car wreck, waiting for EMS, waiting for the police to come do it, waiting for the tow trucks to come haul it off. Domestic calls are going to go unanswered. You know, all that kind of stuff. House fires. Somebody's house catches on fire. The fire department's not coming. You're like, what's going on? And then you're going to get in. Neighbors are going to start rushing in to help. Stuff like that. 6 to 12 hours. The cars are still sitting on the side of the road. Houses are burning down. Domestic calls are not getting answered. So then we just keep rolling on. And this is where it gets kind of sketchy. People are going to start taking stuff into their own hands. They might have some armed patrols going on. Neighborhoods are kind of like, hey, the cops aren't coming. We're going to take care of our own people. They might set up a roadblock in front of their subdivision and have it manned. Neighbors will start forming watch groups. And it's like, hey, if the police and the EMS and the fire aren't coming, we're kind of going to have to be on our own. Store owners are probably going to stay at their stores. If they know the police department's not going to come for something like that, they're going to stay at their stores and stuff like this. Those will be the people that are somewhat in the know of what's going on. But then also, I guarantee the vast majority of people are going to be sitting at their house going, I don't know what's going on. They're going to be looking at their phone. I can't understand what's happening. They've got no concept of it. So and then a lot of these people are just going to be like, I don't know what to do. And they're just going to sit in their house and freeze. I mean, not freeze to death, but freeze in panic because they don't know what's going on. Oh, I forgot. And because I just got a message. Today is Giving Tuesday. Grindstone Ministries. It's grindstoneministries.com. The guys texted me the other day and they're like, hey, can you give us a shout out? Do a quick little video. I've got a short up on YouTube about Giving Tuesday, but this is one of their big days of giving. So if you can do 5, 10, 20, 50, $10,000 if you got it, donate to Grindstone Ministries. Those guys are doing some awesome stuff. I've been out with them several times on disaster cleanups. But if you can, donate some money to those guys. It's grindstoneministries.com is the website, and there's portals to where you can give online. So I just got a notification or a text message about that. But yeah. Sorry, rabbit trail. Do that. grindstoneministries.com. Give those guys some money so they can keep doing what they're doing and helping people out on one of the worst days of these people's lives. All right. Back to the show. All right. 12 to 24 hours. This is kind of when some bigger stuff starts happening with stuff. You're looking at looting, violence, arson, carjacking, shootings, medical emergencies, no EMS. I mean, just all kinds of crazy stuff like this. Once the people find out, it's like, hey, the police aren't coming. EMS is not coming. Fire department's not coming. We can get away with a lot of crap. So don't think. I mean, people are going to be going in. I mean, hell, just look at it when we have lootings now, when the police department kind of stands down in certain areas in cities. I mean, the people just go in and just loot and burn stuff down, steal cars, do all kinds of crap, shoot people. So look at that. I mean, that stuff's going to start happening. It's going to be the end of normalcy. And I mean, I found and put in here some real life events that have happened, like Minnesota in 2020. The police literally announced over loudspeakers, "We cannot guarantee your safety," and response time became hours. So what are you going to do about that when response time becomes hours? You're going to have to take your security into your own hands, whether that means one of those sitting over there or one that you wear on your belt. You're going to need protection. And in Washington, there's a thing, the firefighters refuse calls due to short staff. Houses burned down when no crews were available to go out and fight the fires. Multiple cities all across the U.S. have had ambulances backed up for 6 hours. People died waiting in the back of ER parking lots. Just, the medical system is at a point to where it's failing, and it might take hours to get an ambulance somewhere. The California wildfires, look at it. I mean, that happens almost every year. It whole towns do not expect help. You're going to have to self-rescue yourself. You're on your own. So I mean, there's all kinds of instances. I mean, look, what was it when they had the Chaz thing? I mean, essentially the police just did not go into that area there. They were just kind of like, okay, these people are taking it over. We're not going to take calls, stuff like that. You're kind of on your own if something happens. So kind of some of the stuff that when it gets dangerous is the hospitals start to fail. Without EMS transporting people, the ERs are empty. And then it builds up to finally where people are going to start bringing people in. L2 Survive, what's up, man? People are going to start bringing in, the ambulances aren't coming. So then people are going to bring themselves in or bring their loved ones in. And then you get an overflow. You get this huge influx of everybody. Everybody figures out the ambulances aren't running. We're just going to take the people there. Then they get overrun. And then they're short staffed. So then, I mean, that just cascades. They don't know what to do when you get so many people all at once just crammed in there. There's like, holy crap, we don't know what to do. Fires are going to be one of the biggest things, especially in subdivisions and stuff like that. You get a house that catches on fire in a subdivision and the fire department's not there to put it out. They're stacking houses on top of each other. Like they call them 0 lot line houses. That house just keeps going and going. It hits the next one and it's just going to go down the street if nobody's there to do it. So, I mean, you're looking at one house goes, and then it turns into 2 houses, then it turns into 4, and then it turns into the whole stinking block of houses that are just up in smoke and done. Crime's going to skyrocket. If the police aren't coming, the criminals are going to be able to get away with it. You're going to have people stealing cars, carjackings, break-ins. People are going to start breaking in, stealing stuff. The gangs will fill in the power vacuum. There's a power vacuum there. So gangs are going to start stepping up and saying, hey, the police aren't coming. We're going to do our own thing. Let's do this deal. The streets will become unpredictable. You won't know what you're going to get when you're walking down the road. There's going to be massive, I mean, there was probably going to be massive traffic chaos, because if you think about it, if you've got a wreck, typically the tow trucks will show up, EMS will show up, and the police will show up, and they're going to control the scene, get the cars off the roads where traffic can pass through. If that's not happening, the police aren't showing up, the fire department's not showing up, you're just going to have cars blocking the highway all over the place. Everything from, the neighborhood roads up to the interstate. I mean, you see on the interstate, if they have a small wreck, how long it backs it up and how many hours it's backed up. Just think if there was nobody there taking care of that, on how long that thing's going to be backed up. And then a lot of the stuff, Utilities are going to start breaking down too, because if people aren't servicing that kind of stuff, and say a fire happens at a substation, nobody's going to put that out, and nobody's going to be able to take care of it. So then your power's going to go out. Gas line leaks, stuff like that. All that infrastructure and everything is going to start going down. Let me see, cut B. Is just 911 down or cell phone network down? Just 911 is down in this. Well, 911 is still up and running, but nobody's responding, cut B. Nobody, they're like, sorry, we're not going to come out, kind of thing. If the emergency services just pretty much said, hey, we're not doing anything. That's kind of what we're talking about. All right. So we're not going to give a problem without giving a solution on it. What do we need to do? The first thing is, and I harp on it every time, you need people. You need a community of people that you can call. I've got, and Shelly and I and some other people had talked about it. It's like we've got people that we can call if we need help for stuff. If I need help doing something at my homestead, my place, there's all kinds of people I can call. And those people can call me to help. We've done it before. We get together and do stuff all the time and help each other out. So that community, your new community, or your community that you've got, your neighbors are going to be the new fire department. They're going to be the new police station. They're going to be the new EMS. So with saying that, you need some of these people that are in your community to be trained and have skills and have stuff to do this. One thing is fire readiness. I mean, I know out west, fire readiness and wildfires and everything like that are way more prevalent than here in Kentucky. But I mean, for fire readiness, you're looking fire extinguishers. How many people don't have fire extinguishers in their kitchen, in their basement and stuff like that? I know we've got at least half a dozen staged around the house. In the kitchen, the laundry room, down here in the basement by the furnace, there are fire extinguishers down here, and people know how to use those. Do you have even, hose setups? Do you have hoses, ready to go on the side of your house if you need to put out some kind of fire in an outbuild in your shop, something like that? And then, clear and brush around the place. And I know, like I said, out west, it's more of a threat out there. But don't have tons of stuff stacked up around your house that's a fire hazard. Comm stuff. The cell towers are still up, but the cell towers are probably going to be overwhelmed more. But it's always good to have some kind of backup. That's where you got your GMS, your ham stuff, and then FRS. So have short range comms. Have your base stations. Have longer range comms. I got the base stations set over there. We can program those radios for you for where you live, and then also get you do your consultation and show you how to use these things. So think about the comms that you need. I wouldn't rely, if all this stuff went down and we formed our neighborhood community and everything, and all the neighbors were here helping, I wouldn't want to use the cell phones all the time, because you really don't know when those jokers are going to go out. So it's so much easier to have handheld radios to where you can talk to each other. Then have a base station set up at the house that guy at the base station is controlling all the traffic, making notes, knowing what's going on. People can check back in with net control, and they know what's going on. So you've got that. You've got also medical stuff. One of the biggest things is EMS. If EMS goes down, you're going to have to be your own first responder. Do you have medical knowledge, and do you have medical supplies at your house? Some of the medical training you're looking at, stop the bleed, CPR, basic trauma skills, how to put on a tourniquet, chest seal, wound packing, splinting, stuff like that. NPAs, your nasal pharyngeal airways. Do you know how to do that kind of stuff? Everything that's in this bleeding control kit, do you know how to use that stuff? Wound care and assessment. One of the big things is assessing the patient. If something's going wrong, do you know how to assess this patient on what we need to do with them. Whether this is a super life-threatening, we need to do something about this now, or hey, we've got some time and we can take care of this. It's not a super immediate thing. We'll take care of it in just a little bit. How to splint stuff. You know how to splint legs, how to splint arms, stuff like that. And then one thing is over-the-counter medicine. Do you have enough over-the-counter medicine storage to where you can store stuff? So, and then having all the gauze. You know, people are like, I've got, you know, a box of gauze. I'm like, that's cool. That's going to take care of maybe one wound. You need cases and cases of gauze. I've got personally, before we even started doing first aid and medical stuff, I literally had cases and cases of gauze sitting here, and I've still got those, and I just keep adding to them. Gauze are one of the things that you're going to need, and you're going to need a ton of those jokers. So medical training, medical supplies, get that kind of stuff, because if EMS stops running, you're going to have to treat your family and anything that happens to you. Security plan. What are you going to do about that? If the police aren't coming, you're going to have to be your own security team. Now, I'm not talking about like Rambo stuff where we're standing out with a 50 cal, you know, at the end of the road or anything like that. But, you know, realistic stuff. Make sure you've got enough lighting around your house. Cameras. I mean, most everybody has cameras at their place. Just make sure the cameras are up and working where you can see things. You know, you don't have to go outside. You can look and see who's at the front door. Make sure you've got good locks on your doors. Make sure you've got good doors on your house that somebody just can't come just kick in super easy. Family emergency roles. Who's doing what in an emergency? Dad's doing this, mom's doing this, the kids are doing, you know, X, Y, and Z. Have that plan, because help might not come, you know, and in this situation, you're going to be your own first responder on all this stuff. So, guys, I don't know. I mean, if you really look at it, it's kind of a scary thing of if you're on your own and what's going to happen, you know, what's going to happen if you're out there all of a sudden and you got a chainsaw incident, and not nicking an artery or anything like that, but you nick yourself with a chainsaw, or nick yourself with an axe, and you're bleeding. You know, it's not an arterial bleed, but hey, you've cut yourself up pretty good, and you go to call 911, and you know the EMS. Morning, Greg New. Greg is in here, getting in here late, but you've got a medical emergency that you got to take care of. Do you know how to do it? I mean, do you know what to do? Do you know how to pack that wound? Because 911's not coming and the police department's not coming. Do you know how to take care of that? You've got people that show up at your house wanting to do bad stuff to you. Do you know how to take care of that? I mean, do you have pew-pews and the ability and the know-how to protect yourself and your family? Because you know the police department's not coming. They've already said, hey, we're bowing out. We're done with this. We don't have the capacity to do this. Let me see. Bought a $2.99 Opus Mega 1 on Cyber Monday just because. Sweet. There were some good deals if you were checking on Cyber Monday and Black Friday. I mean, people had just stupid stuff on sale and everything. So, but yeah, do you know how to do all this stuff? Do you know how your comms plan? Because eventually the cell phone networks will go down. Do you have your comms plan for you and your neighbors on how to do this, how to talk to them, stuff like that? So get it together, get this stuff rolling, start building that community. So when emergency services don't respond, you're like, okay, it's kind of a glitch in the system, but we can handle this. We've been preparing for all this stuff. We know how to do it. So, and then like L2 Survive said, Cyber Monday and Black Friday, it was weird. Like I didn't go shopping or anything. My wife wanted to run down to Tennessee, and I forgot to talk about this, but she wanted to run down to Tennessee and do some shopping. I'm like, that's fine. Go ahead. Me and Lincoln are going to do this. Everything's good. She sent me pictures. Like she got up super early and got down there. she sent me pictures and she was like, it's kind of weird. There's not a ton of people out. Like, she sent me a picture of Costco, and Costco was like half empty. I'm like, there's not tons of people in Costco, doing Black Friday shopping. She's like, no, it's kind of weird. And she went to all these places and she told me, she was like, it was super weird. People were not standing in line. It was not crowded, anything like that. She was like, it was like a normal day. I'm like, that's kind of weird. So I just thought I'd bring that up. But guys, that's about all I've got. I've got to yeah. And Shelly says people are shopping online. 100%. I think every year people are doing more online shopping and doing less at brick and mortar stores. I mean, you see malls closing. There's malls abandoned all over the place and just closed. People aren't in the malls. I mean, I can drive by. I typically, when I go to Lowe's, I drive by the mall in Bowling Green, and the mall is never hardly packed. I mean, stores are closing a bunch, but then like Dunham's is a sporting goods store in the mall. They had a small section in the mall, but they're building a new, or they're moving to a bigger one and redoing all it. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I think the brick and mortar stores are going downhill and more people are shopping online. And then L2 Survive, everything has been on sale online all month. The sales start 1st of November now. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and they do that. They start sales, and we're guilty of doing sales too, almost all month. But if that's what people expect, that's what you got to do. But I didn't see any super big Black Friday deals, but I mean, I didn't look too awful crazy as far as in person and stuff. But I did see something. Walmart had tons and tons of TVs marked way down for prices, and the guy's like, nobody is buying these TVs. I mean, they still had just pallets of TVs sitting there, and it's like nobody's buying TVs right now. I don't know. I think everybody that wants a TV has got a big old TV right now. And it's like somebody said on TikTok one day, it's like, we don't want Black Friday deals on TVs. We want Black Friday deals on brisket and food. And I'm like, hey, and I don't understand why they couldn't do some Black Friday deals. I mean, think about it. If you did Black Friday deals on ground beef and steaks and briskets and stuff like that and chicken, I guarantee people would be in there standing in line. We're doing 50% off ribeyes today for the first 200 people coming through. That probably would have got a ton of people out Black Friday shopping, as opposed to, hey, we're gonna get a 50-inch TV for $199. And Shelly said, we went to T-Ville Walmart late Friday night, and they still had everything they had on sale. Nothing was sold out. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Who knows? I think people are done with a lot of the electronics and stuff like that. I mean, I know I've got plenty of TVs in the house. Hell, I don't even watch TV. If I watch stuff, typically it's on my iPad or my phone. I'll watch YouTube or something like that, some educational stuff, or I'll veg out for a little bit. But like sitting down, watching TV and watching a movie, man, I can't tell you. Other than doing it with my youngest son, we'll watch a thing with him at night. He likes to watch TV with Dad for a little bit, but we're watching some kids show or something. But yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of TVs, all that stuff. Really, the only electronics I wind up buying is my laptop crashed a while back, and I had to buy a new laptop. But stuff like that, all the electronics and all that crap, I've got plenty of it. Don't really care about going and buying a new, 86-inch TV or whatever they are now. Yeah, it might be cool to do it, but it's like, if you never use it, why are you going to do it? I would rather put that money in durable goods, buying more fencing for the property and having extra fencing sitting here, extra posts, stuff like that. In case something happens to the fence, you don't have to run to the hardware store and buy a fence and, a new roll of fence. You don't have to buy a new post and all that. You're like, hey, I've got it sitting here, and I bought it before the price went up on it, before inflation hit horribly bad. And honestly, I would rather buy more pew-pews and more ammo, stuff like that. I would rather put more medical supplies in. One of the things, instead of a new TV and crap like that, we're going to redo the kitchenette or do the kitchenette down here in the basement. That's the next plan for the house. That's durable goods and that's stuff that's adding value as opposed to, I mean, don't go buy that new TV. Spend something on your house. Upgrade some stuff on your house. Do that. It's going to be a major upgrade for mine because we're going to move our freeze dryer over. We're getting I'm remodeling some stuff on my brother's house. I'm bringing his range and oven in. We're going to put that. So we'll have 2 ovens in the house, an extra oven down here, and do that stuff where it's going to be just a whole freeze dried area where I've got a prep area for freeze dry and all that stuff. And we're going to start running that joker all the time just to get ready and just put more food up. Guys, that's about all I've got for today. I've got to pack some orders, send some stuff out, and then go do a few things at my brother's house today. And then there'll also be other stuff I've got to do once I get done doing that. But guys, I appreciate y'all being here. If y'all need anything, shoot me an email. If you got questions, also don't forget, soft tourniquets are 20% off. That's going to go, I think that goes till Friday. But we've got plenty of those jokers. So get some of those while they're in. L2 Survival. I also bought a couple Dwarf Mini Smart Telescopes. I'll be able to track sunspots on my own. Plus, I get to see pretty stars. That's pretty cool. That's one thing I've never played with a lot is telescopes. I mean, I've had buddies that have had them and we've looked through them, but I've never really been one of those people to look through that. But that sounds pretty neat. So, yep, Shelly, have a fantastic day. Shelly and I will be back here Wednesday night for our show, and then I'll be back here on Friday. But guys, if you need anything, shoot me an email if you got questions, and I'm off to pack orders. Guys, y'all have a good day and be careful.